students, I think all of you are well at your home. In last class we have studied the reflection of light. Reflection of light through the plane mirror, through the curved mirror, the mirror formula and the magnification through the curved mirror. I think all you have understood and practiced at your home. Now today we will start the next topic, that is refraction of light. This topic also you have studied in 10th standard, but we will revise again. So for refraction of light, first of all we will see the meaning of refraction of light. When a ray of light passes from one transparent medium to another transparent medium through the interface, then the path of ray of light gets changes. So if the path of ray of light gets changes, then this phenomenon is called refraction of light. Understood? Now here we will consider the three cases. First case, when a ray of light passes from rarer medium to the denser medium. Understood? So first case we will see when a ray of light passes from rarer medium to the denser medium. Then here you see when this ray of light passes to the denser medium, it bends towards the normal. First of all, see here, this is the incident ray, this is the refracted ray, and this is the perpendicular, that is normal. And the angle between incident ray and the normal is called angle of incidence, and the angle between normal and refracted ray is called the angle of refraction. So here when it is passing from rarer medium to the denser medium, what happens? It bends towards the normal. That means angle of incidence in this case is greater than angle of refraction. Come to the second case. If a ray of light passes from glass to air, as you are knowing the students, the glass is a denser medium compared to air. That means when a ray of light passes from denser medium to the rarer medium, that means it is the opposite case of the first one. Okay. Then when it is passing from denser to rarer, see here it bends away from the normal. Okay. So here the angle of refraction will be greater than angle of incidence. And see here the third case. Here the ray of light passing normally from one medium to another medium. And if a ray of light passes from one medium to another medium normally, there will be no change in the path after refraction. Because you see, angle of incidence is equal to angle of refraction is equal to 0 degree.
Means this normal ray is perpendicular to the medium?
This normal ray is perpendicular to this interface. Okay. Now we will come to the laws of refraction of light. Okay. So first law, that is the incident ray, the refracted ray and normal. All these three rays at the point of incidence. This is the point of incidence. This is the point of incidence here. Here this is the point of incidence. So the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal at the interface and at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. Understood? The same plane means what? Dear students, suppose here the incident ray is coming on this plane, then the refracted ray will also pass through the same plane. Okay. So this is the first law of refraction. Now come to the second law. This is very famous law, and this law is also known as the Snell's law of refraction. So according to the Snell's law of refraction, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is always constant value. So when a ray of light passes from one medium to another medium, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction will remain constant. See here, if we are considering the different angles, angle of incidence, then accordingly the angle of refraction will also changes and the ratio will always remain constant. And here I have written sine I upon sine R is equal to 1 mu 2. What is meaning of this 1 mu 2? This is 1 mu 2 is called the refractive index of the medium 2 with respect to the first medium. Why we are saying the refractive index of medium 2? Because the ray of light passing from medium 1 to the medium 2. Okay, and this is also called Snell's law of refraction. We will see the refractive index, the different formula of refractive index. First formula of refractive index is the ratio of speed of light in vacuum to the speed of light in medium. So, refractive index, suppose the symbol, we are here supposing the symbol by mu. So, mu is equal to C upon V. C we are considering the speed of light in vacuum and V is the speed of light in medium. And if the refractive index of a medium we are considering with respect to vacuum, then this refractive index is also called the absolute refractive index. Keep it in mind always, okay? So, refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 is also equal to V1 upon V2. What is V1 and what is V2? V1 is the velocity of light in any medium and V2 is velocity of light in any other medium. Okay? But when we are considering the velocity of light in vacuum, then the refractive index of the medium is always called the absolute refractive index. Okay. Now we will see the refractive index in terms of wavelength. Dear student, you just keep it in mind, when a ray of light passes from one medium to another medium, the frequency of light will not change. Why it will not change? As you are knowing that the frequency of light is nothing but these are the number of waves passing through the medium. So when the waves are passing from one medium to another wave, when the waves are passing from one medium to another medium, the number of waves will not change. So the frequency will remain same. But the formula, according to the formula, mu is equal to C by V. So, C is equal to nu lambda, that we are already knowing in 11th standard. We have studied in waves chapter. C is equal to nu lambda. Okay. So, nu is the frequency of light and lambda is the wavelength in vacuum to the wavelength in any medium into mu. So, mu and mu will be cancelled. So, refractive index is also equal to lambda in lambda wavelength in vacuum to the wavelength in any medium. Okay, understood? Now come to the next topic related to the refractive index, that is factors on which the refractive index of the medium depends. Okay, so refractive index, as you have seen that refractive index does not depend on the frequency of light, but it depends on the nature of the medium. In which medium, through which medium the ray of light passes from one medium to another medium. Dear student, as the bending of light is more, then the refractive index of the second medium will also be more. So, it depends upon the nature of the medium. Second, the wavelength of the light used, that we have discussed just now. Then, the temperature of the medium. Okay. And fourth one is the nature of surrounding medium. In which medium the ray of light passing from one medium to another medium. Now, we will see what is the actual cause of refraction. As we have seen that by Snell's law, the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 is equal to sin I upon sin R, or it can be written as V1 upon V2. So the first case, if V1 is greater than V2, okay, if V1 is greater than V2, then from this formula refractive index, value of refractive index 1 mu 2 will be greater than 1. And if 1 mu 2 is greater than 1, then sin I will also be greater than sin R. That means the value of sine of angle of incidence is greater than sine of angle of refraction. And this means that angle of incidence is greater than angle of refraction. Okay? In the same way, if V1 is less than V2, if V1 is less than V2, that means velocity of light of the second medium is greater than the first medium, then the value of refractive index will be less than 1. And if it is less than 1, then the sin R, that is sine of angle of refraction, is less than sine of angle of incidence. That means angle of incidence is less than angle of refraction. And see here, when angle of incidence is less than the angle of refraction, then the ray of light passes from denser medium to the rarer medium. And in the first case, when angle of incidence is greater than angle of refraction, then always keep it in mind, the ray of light passes from rarer medium to denser medium. Okay? Now we will come to the next topic, that is principle of reversibility of light. Okay? So, according to this principle, if it states that if the final path of ray of light after it has suffered several times reflection or refraction, then it will retraces the path exactly. That means the initial path from which it comes, it will follow the same path after reflection or refraction. Okay, here for explaining, first of all, see this figure, students. Here we have considered the incident ray PQ, and it is passing from the rarer medium to the denser medium. And as we are knowing, when it is passing from rarer to denser, it is bending towards the normal. So here QR is the refracted ray. And here we have kept one plane mirror perpendicular to this refracted ray. So what happens, as we are knowing the property of plane mirror, then this refracted ray will again pass through the same path. And if now this RQ will be the incident ray, then QP will become the refracted ray. But now, because now the ray of light passing from denser medium to the rarer medium.
So it
okay,
will move away from the normal.
Yes, when it is passing from denser medium to the rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. So how we can prove this principle of reversibility of light? See here, in first case, the angle of incidence, that is PQN, is equal to angle of incidence I, and angle RQN dash is equal to angle of refraction R. Now we will use the Snell's law of refraction, as we are knowing sin I upon sin R is equal to 1 mu 2, refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. Okay, and we have kept here QR ray plane mirror perpendicular to the refracted ray. Now after refraction, then this angle of refraction will become angle of incidence. Then so angle of incidence will be equal to RQN dash, that is equal to R. This is not, this angle of refraction will convert into angle of incidence, and this angle that is PQN or NQP, will become angle of refraction, that is equal to I. Again we will use the Snell's law. Now we will write sin R upon sin I is equal to 2 mu 1. 2 mu 1 means refractive index of medium 1 with respect to 2. And we are getting these two equations, and on multiplying these two equations, see here, sin I upon sin R into sin R upon sin I is equal to 1 mu 2 into 2 mu 1. So all these values will get cancelled, sin I and sin I, and sin R and sin R will cancel. We will get only 1. So 1 is equal to 1 mu 2 into 2 mu 1, or we can write 1 mu 2 is equal to 1 upon 2 mu 1. That is refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 is reciprocal of refractive index of medium 1 with respect to 2. Now see the next topic, that is refraction through a rectangular glass slab and the meaning of lateral shift. Okay, so here we have considered one glass slab, rectangular glass slab PQRS, and the ray AB, that is we have considered an oblique ray AB. It is incident on the face PQ of the glass slab, and when the ray enters from air to glass, then it bends towards the normal. Here angle of incidence is I1 and the angle of refraction is R1. Now this refracted ray BC incident on this surface SR, then again it gets refracted. But now here the ray of light passing from denser medium glass to the rarer medium, that is air, then it bends away from the normal. Now then this the path of emergent ray will be equal to CD, and here the angle of incidence, that is equal to I2, and angle of refraction, that is equal to R2. Okay, now by using the Snell's law, first of all we will use the Snell's law for the face PQ. So for face PQ, again sin I1 upon sin R1 is equal to air mu glass, that is a refractive index of glass with respect to air. Now for the second phase SR, again we will use the Snell's law, that is sin I2 upon sin R2 is equal to glass mu air, or it is also reciprocal of air mu glass. Okay, so by using these two equations, we will put here and multiply these two equations, and see here in RHS what we will get, that is equal to 1. And here, because both the faces, that is PQ is parallel to SR, then therefore this angle I2 is equal to angle R1. This here, this is the alternate angle, I2 is equal to R1. So here we can put in place of I2 that is equal to R1. So sin I1 upon R1 into sin R1 upon sin R2 is equal to 1. And this sin R1 and R1 will be cancelled. So the remaining values are sin I1 upon sin R2 is equal to 1, or sin I1 is equal to sin R2, or we can say that I1 is equal to R2. So see here what is meaning of this lateral shift. Here the incident ray, that is AB, get shifted by CD. Okay, now see there is a perpendicular distance, that is suppose we will give the name perpendicular distance by TS. So this perpendicular distance is known as the lateral shift. That means when a ray of light passing from the glass slab, the incident, there will be the lateral displacement between the incident ray and the emergent ray. And this lateral shift is also known as lateral displacement. I think you understood about the lateral shift. Okay.